As soon as the days get shorter and that wind gets a little sharper, a lot of us start to feel that winter chill settle in. But what if we could do more than just, get through the season? Today, we're going to dive into how the ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine can help us not just survive winter, but actually feel great in it.
So the main idea we're going to play with today is actually really simple and kind of brilliant. In winter, we need to think like a smart bear. Seriously, it's all about learning how to prep our bodies for a season of rest and recharging, just like they do.
In TCM, they have a name for this: winter hiding. Now, this isn't an excuse to be lazy, not at all. It's about being smart with our energy. The whole idea is to use this colder, darker season to store up our energy, to build up our reserves. This is what helps us avoid getting totally run down, catching every single cold that goes around, or just feeling completely exhausted all winter long. All right, so what are we really up against? Well, winter tends to throw three big challenges our way. But don't you worry, because TCM gives us some awesome secret weapons to fight back and stay warm, healthy, and full of energy. Okay, first up, challenge number 1. I'm sure you know this feeling. Your hands are like blocks of ice, your feet are totally frozen, and it doesn't matter how many layers you pile on, you just can't seem to get warm. Yep, you've become the walking popsicle. So what's going on here from a TCM point of view? This is a classic sign of something called weak yang energy. The easiest way to think about your yang energy is like your body's own internal furnace, or its own little sun. When that furnace is running low on power, you feel cold. So our goal is pretty straightforward. We need to warm the yang. It's all about recharging that internal battery to get that lovely warmth flowing all the way out to your fingertips and toes again. All right, moving on from just feeling cold, let's talk about our breathing. Does winter for you mean a constant dry cough, maybe some wheezing, or your allergies just going haywire? For so many people, this nagging respiratory stuff is a classic winter battle. In TCM, they see this as cold fluid building up in the lungs. Just imagine that chilly air you're breathing in is turning the natural moisture in your airways into a cold, irritating drink. So the goal then is to gently warm the lungs. We want to basically turn that cold liquid into a gentle steam so it can clear out naturally and calm everything down.
And that brings us to our third and final winter challenge, the achy joints alarm. You know, the moment the weather turns cold and damp, do your joints just start screaming at you? Feeling stiff, sore, and just locked up?
Well, according to TCM, this happens because of blocked qi and blood flow. Think of the cold and dampness like ice forming on a highway. It creates these massive traffic jams in your body's energy pathways, and that's what causes the pain. So the mission is to clear those blockages, melt the ice, and get things flowing smoothly again. We want to get your joints feeling like they're in a nice, warm, spring-like state, even in the dead of winter.
Okay, we've laid out the problems. Now for the really fun part, the solutions. Let's put together your very own home prep kit with some super simple but really powerful DIY tools for a cozy, healthy winter.
And the star of our kit is a specially designed herbal tea. Now, this isn't just any old tea. It's a formula designed specifically to warm you up from the inside out and tackle those big winter issues we were just talking about.
Let's take a look at what's in this amazing blend. We've got dry ginger to get that circulation going and Acacia twig to warm up those energy pathways. Then there's Codonopsis root to boost your overall energy and resistance. We add Euphemia bark, which is fantastic for strengthening the lower back and bones. And then we've got black soybeans to nourish what TCM calls kidney energy. That's like your body's deep foundational power source. And finally, a few red dates to bring it all together and harmonize the formula. See? It's like a perfectly balanced team, all working together for you.
And you know what? Making it is so easy. You just give the herbs a quick rinse, add them to about 800 milliliters of water, bring that to a boil, and then just turn the heat down and let it simmer for about a half an hour. Strain it, drink it warm, and hey, you can even add a little black sugar for some extra flavor and warmth if you want. So who's this for? Well, it's absolutely fantastic if you're that walking popsicle, with the cold hands and feet, or if you have a sore back or just that general winter blah. It's also especially good for women right after their period. But just a quick heads up, if you're already showing signs of too much heat, like a really dry mouth or sore throat, it's probably best to skip this one. All right, you've got your tea brewing. What's next in our winter toolkit? We are going to learn how to activate 2 of your body's own built-in superheat packs. And all it takes is a little bit of simple acupressure. Let's check out these 2 PowerPoints. The first is called Shen Shu, and it's on your lower back.
Just rubbing and warming this area for 5 or 10 minutes is literally like plugging in your core kidney battery to recharge. The second point is Zusan Li, which is just below your knee. Massaging this spot for a few minutes is like turning on your body's digestion master, which helps your whole system create more of its own energy and warmth.
So we have our tea, we have our acupressure points. Let's zoom out a little and put this all together into a super simple daily routine. This is how you really start to live like that smart, hibernating bear we talked about.
It comes down to 3 key habits. First, sleep. Try to follow the sun. Go to bed a little earlier, wake up a little later. It's all about conserving energy. Second, exercise. This is not the season for super intense, sweaty workouts. Go for gentle movement, like a nice walk or some Tai Chi. The goal is just a light, gentle sweat, not a drenching one. And finally, your diet. You want to protect your digestive fire, so try to avoid raw, cold foods, think salads and smoothies, and maybe ease up on the really heavy, greasy meals. And really, that brings us to the very heart of this whole philosophy. It's not about fighting the cold with brute force. It's about smart adaptation. It's about embracing your inner bear. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that winter actually has a purpose. It's nature's official time for us to slow down, to store our energy, and to recharge our batteries for the entire year ahead. Once we learn to work with that natural rhythm, instead of constantly fighting against it, everything just gets so much easier.
With a warm cup of tea in your hands, a couple of key pressure points you can use anytime, and a mindset of conservation, you have everything you need. So the only question left is, are you ready to be a smart bear this winter?